the Green Bay Packers play the Dallas Cowboys. It's the first time they are playing a playoff game in Lambeau Field since the Ice Bowl. One of the top players in the National Football League, one of the most feared pass rushers in the National Football League, former USC Trojan, for those listening in Southern California. He is Clay Matthews on The Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Clay?
I'm doing well. How about yourself, Rich?
I am doing fine. I saw on Twitter, Clay, that it is currently -8 degrees in Green Bay. Is that a true story?
Well, yes, that's true. But in fact, earlier today, it was even colder. It was -10 when I checked my phone and -33 with wind chill. So winter has arrived.
Oh, my God.
It's possible.
So does that mean you're not gonna wet the hair for the big playoff game, Clay? Because I mean, you know, that could be dangerous sort of stuff.
It could be. It's going to be a game time decision. Sometimes in the heat of the moment, though, you need to hydrate yourself and cool yourself off, and you know you got to douse the lettuce with a little water.
Douse the lettuce with a little water. Something, by the way, only means salad for me. I don't have what you have, Clay. I just don't. You know, but
you know what? Hey, I'm going to rock it for the time I got it, and then eventually, when you know it kicks in, male pattern baldness, then I'll give it a rest. So
there's no pattern here, pal. This is what it is. What I got over here, Clay. You know, but I appreciate the sentiment.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. So, where did you watch I assume you watched the Dallas-Detroit game, right? Did you watch it live?
I watched it in my living room, as a matter of fact. Nice and comfortable.
Nice and cozy.
70 degrees.
Okay, next to your Clay Matthews fathead on the wall, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, they're not only on the wall, but on the ceiling. Really, anywhere you can imagine.
Okay, that's next level stuff. So, what did you see when you watched that game and Dallas taking control of the game late in the game yesterday, Clay? What did you take away from that?
Well, I think it shows their resilience. You know, obviously early in the game, I thought, you know, Detroit was going to pull it out handedly. But, you know, Dallas stuck with it, especially coming out strong in that second half and finishing, you know, in a manner in which you need to be doing at this point in the playoffs. So, obviously, you know, we understand what they possess. Tony's playing his best ball right now. Obviously, DeMarco Murray, best back in the league. So we're going to have our hands full. But, you know, we like our odds. We like our chances, especially bringing them up here to, you know, as we mentioned, the cold, frozen tundra and playing at home where we're 8-0.
Yeah, and Clay Matthews of the Green Bay Packers joining me here on The Rich Eisen Show. I'd love to get your thoughts before we move on to that game about the flag that was picked up. Anthony Hitchens, linebacker in coverage. The initial call appeared to be pass interference, and the flag was picked up. Do you agree with that call, the non-call that took place in that game, Clay?
You know, I've been seeing so much debate going back and forth, but I think ultimately when the flag is thrown, you know, it should probably be honored. Obviously, I'm not a referee. I don't know what goes into making these decisions, but at the same time, you know, a very crucial part in the game had to go in one team's favor, and unfortunately for unfortunately for Detroit, won Dallas's favor.
Yeah, and Dallas is now it's the first matchup in how long, Chris Law? How long was that?
42 years.
42 years, where a team that is perfect at home during the regular season welcomes into the playoffs a team that was perfect on the road in the regular season. So something's going to have to give. To what do you owe playing so well at home, Clay?
You know what? I think it's just a level of comfort. And obviously, I mean, that initially starts with our fans and, you know, the support they've shown throughout the years. Decades, really, and you know, they're going to show up, especially when it's, you know, whatever the temperature may be. They're going to be out there. They're going to be cheering full force for us. Obviously, playing at home where, you know, like I said, we're in our comfort zone and are able to, offense gets clicking and defense is able to, you know, kind of play with them on their heels. You know, it's made, you know, playing at home a little easier. So hopefully that's the case come this Sunday, and hopefully we can get another win.
Clay, obviously, you mentioned the offense clicking. I don't know how much you are able to watch it because of whatever you're doing on the sideline, making adjustments or what have you. To that end, though, what has it been like watching the offense with the controls of who I voted for to be MVP this year in Aaron Rodgers? What's it been like for you when you were able to watch the offense at his control, Clay?
You know, it's been like, this is my 6th year here, and Aaron has been in control, I think, for 7, but really starting in 2009 to come into his own. So for me as a defensive player, it's been, you know, as a fan, you can just kind of sit back and know that the offense is going to put up points. And there may be a few games in the year in which the defense needs to come up big for the offense. But for the most part, you just kind of sit back and understand if we're able to force a three and out, get the ball back, or create a turnover, that we're most likely going to put up points. And it's very hard to come back against our offense in the manner in which we put up points. So, as a defender, we understand that just give them the ball and the rest will fall into place.
And then what about where you've been positioned in the defense, Clay? Much has been made of that, certainly nationally. I've got my first chance to ask you point blank about where Dom Capers has you, either in the middle of the defense or on the defensive line. How has that been for you?
It's been great. As you can see from these previous 8 games, the switching to the middle has allowed me to have a little more freedom within this defense as far as rushing from all over, not just the right side of the quarterback's blind side, but also playing in the middle. Allows me to drop into coverage, at times play tight ends man-to-man. So I think it really showcases my skill set. And obviously I thrive under pass rush and getting after quarterbacks, and I think we'll always, recognize that and allow me to get after the quarterback. But there's times when, we need to solidify this run defense, and I think it's shown from the, where our numbers were through the previous through the first half of the season to the second half. So I think it's really shown the, diversity of this defense and what we're capable of doing.
Clay, I appreciate you taking the time here to call into the show.
One second. Clay, Chris Law here, Rich Eisen show producer. I'm sure you already knew that, though. Can you confirm or deny when you used to intern at NFL Network, correct?
Boy. Yeah, I can confirm that I used to intern when I was, a scrub walk-on at USC. I interned at the NFL Network out there in Culver City, right?
Did Rich make you get his coffee?
That's ridiculous to even ask
Or
this
did
man
he
that
ever
question.
yell at you for shot sheets out of order?
Oh, my God.
In fact, Rich didn't ask me to get his coffee. He didn't get mad at me for his shot sheets because I think I was beneath all that. I don't even think he walked past me in the hallway and just wouldn't even acknowledge me. So I think I was
Clay.
beyond, below the scum or what's on the bottom of his shoe. The interns that work for him now, but it was a good learning experience. I realized that I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be a professional football player and be on camera, and hey, here we are.
Okay.
So Rich infers that as he motivated you to become the player you were at USC.
Okay. Can I take credit for that then?
If things go smoothly, throughout the rest of my career, Rich, I'm going to need you up on that podium, okay? And introducing me.
I'll be there for you, Clay. And you know what? I treat interns much better now because I never know if they're going to win Super Bowls or become all-pro players or defensive players of the year type players. That's it.
Well, that's the golden rule right there. So I'm glad it only took, however many years for you to figure it out, but I appreciate it.
You've made me a better person, Clay Matthews. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Of course. My pleasure. Thanks, Rich.
You bet. Thanks for calling. And there's Clay Matthews, at Clay Matthews 52 on Twitter.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.